what is your diagnosis of the current Nigerian economy? You're the chief economist at the DBN, so I can imagine that you'll be permutating and be looking at the numbers,
Sure.
projection, forecasting, and all of that.
Okay.
What is your own diagnosis of where we are right now?
Let me start by saying this. So MSMEs are the drivers of economic growth. So whatever happens to them, policymakers, governments, private sector, they should be concerned because ultimately they are the ones who will create more jobs. They will be the ones to essentially transform finances to business needs and so on. But more importantly, I would say if you take a look at the macroeconomic landscape of the country, Nancy, you see, if you take a look at the Purchasing Managers Index, this is basically the pulse of the private sector enterprise. If you take a look at the manufacturing PMI and the services PMI, last month in March, it declined to around 42 to 43 index points. Anything below 50, it means you're contracting.
Yeah.
Anything above 50 means you're expanding. So the manufacturing side was contracting last month, but it's since picked up. And the cause for that had to do with the cash crunch, the Naira redesign and so on. So a lot of households and MSMEs were kind of challenged, to say the least. Some of them have closed business to wait and see. Some of them are basically closed permanently. Some of them have transformed to something else. But by and large, we see the economy as still vibrant because the numbers tells us that even though households and MSMEs are challenged, we see that growth still exists. Profits are still there to be derived. And broadly speaking, the GDP for this year will be probably around 2.93%, thereabouts. The question now I'll put back to you is, do the households and MSMEs believe it's inclusive and robust enough? Do the policymakers believe it's robust enough? And if I'm going to answer my own question, I would say it's not.
It's not.
Because in the end, you need to essentially ensure that growth is inclusive, and more importantly, you have to make sure you cannot transform an economy without developing people who will sustain the growth of the economy's transformation. So that's where we are right now.
Okay.